Hello traders, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another week. Yeah, this is gonna be the first video that I'm going to be making after a long time. Hopefully, it's almost a month that I haven't made any video, like educational videos like this. But yeah, today we are going to be talking about weekly outlook. We are going to be making a weekly outlook for this week. As you all know, we are in the month of May. Anyways, I didn't make any video on our buyers or monthly buyers for this month, but we can start with the XY and just do a weekly analysis in order to know the direction for this week or our directional buyers for weekly. So this is the XY. As you all know, we start with the XY. Why I normally start with the XY is because of we trade a lot of USD pair with USD. So if you know the direction of USD, then whatsoever base or quote currency extra that is added, you'll be able to get the direction accurate. What I'm trying to say is this: let's say, for example, you are trading EU, and you already know that okay, this is Euro USD, and the direction based on what you analyze on the XY is USD is bearish. Now, when you are analyzing EU, you will likely have that understanding that Euro USD is going to be buying. Why? Because USD is going down due to the fact that you have already analyzed the XY. The XY is US index. So if the XY is going down or USD is going down, automatically Euro will be going up. Same thing maybe when you come to GBP USD. Since you already know that USD is going down, GBP USD, that's GBP USD, you know that since USD is going down, GBP USD will likely be buying. So that is why I normally analyze the XY first. I hope you understand. So we are going to be starting from the monthly time frame. Yeah, we are going to be starting from the monthly time frame. I've already did my analysis, but though I didn't. That was yesterday. I used to prefer to do my monthly forecast or weekly forecast on Mondays now, or after Monday candle have closed. Okay. So now let's start with this. How did last month's candle close? How did last 2 months candle close? Now with that we'll get an idea. Now this bullish candle here is March, and the next one is April. So you can see that March is bullish. This first candle here is January. January was bearish, came down, and February bullish. Now next we have March, April, and now May. Now where do you think that May will be going? Where do you think that May will be going? We are going to be looking out for. Where do you think that May will be going? And first, we are going to be looking out for the places where we have liquidity. Okay, places where we have liquidity. Now, below all this low down here, there were liquidity here. Liquidity. Now, this January candle came down and swept all this liquidity. After sweeping those liquidity, next liquidity start forming here. Now we're expecting April to just come down, fill this gap maybe to this zone and buy. That was what we were expecting initially, right? But unfortunate, April candle came down, filled this gap, and haven't given us any good sign for reversal, but it's tapping into a key level. If you go to daily, you see a very good order block here. So there's possibility that May, that's this month's candle, will be bullish. But now below here there's liquidity, and this month's candle have swept it already. Look, this month's candle have swept it already. But let's go to the weekly time frame and see what weekly is saying. We cannot just capitalize on what the monthly is saying, just what the monthly is saying. Okay, so you all will agree with me that price has been bearish from here, started from here, went up, and now price is bearish. From this zone here, price have been bearish. So until when we see a clear confirmation for a buy here, that is when we are going to know that price is now bullish. But for now, I would prefer to say that let's go with the current trend. Okay, so this was last week. Last week tapped into this A shape. Look at it here, this A shape. After giving us a break, tapped into this A shape and came down, swept this low, also swept this low. All this low here have been swept. Now where is the next drawn liquidity? The next drawn liquidity might either be, this is our previous week, this is our previous week candle. Now our next run liquidity might be this previous week low or the previous week high. One of this place is where our next run liquidity will be either this high or the low. I hope we are following. Now look at this low here. This low, this is another low that price might likely come down to. We still have other lows here. So, but as we all know, price move from external range liquidity to internal range and then external range liquidity. So let's see daily. Let's see daily. Now we already know now that our next run liquidity might be our previous week high or previous week low, but price is bearish. If price is bearish, then price will be hunting for the liquidity below. So it will just make a retracement to take out the internal range and then goes down for the external range. This is the external range. So there's high possibility that price will be bearish this week, if you would ask me. And I'm seeing a gap here. This gap, look at this, a gap, this jump here, and then all this high you see here, all this high, this high, this high, and this high, they're all liquidity. So there's still possibility that the XY might be bullish to take out those liquidity, but we know that the XY is bearish. Now we have a break here. So price gave us a swing. Look at a swing low, a swing that we're expecting price to give us a break like this, but price failed to give us a break. So price didn't break this low, neither did it break this high. So above here there's liquidity and below here there's liquidity. So there's possibility that price will sweep this high like this and then start selling. You see that we now have our directional buyers for USD. I hope we understand. So we can either wait for price to come here for USD to dump, or price can come up here to also do what? Dump. Now this break here might not be so valid for me because this candle just closed bullish and bearish, and another one closed bullish back inside of it. So this might just be a liquidity grab. So my main structure here will be this. I can call this a break, so I can easily call this my 4-hour strong swing. So if this place fail, price might use this place to sell. But if this zone here fail, then there's possibility that the XY is fully bullish now. I hope you see how we started the journey. So this is my expectation or my weekly bias for the XY US index. So let's go to Euro USD. Euro USD, okay? Weekly outlook, 11th of May 2026. So as usual, we'll go to our monthly. We won't stay much on the monthly. Majorly it's the weekly time frame that we are supposed to go to, but this is last month's candle, closed bullish, took out this high, and now this low is still there. But now Euro USD is bullish. Look at it. This weekly time frame. So every candle here, it took 1 week for them to form. See that Euro USD is bullish. Euro USD is bullish. But let me go back to the monthly. You see something I'm seeing here? This look like a CRT or a CRT. Look at it. This high was swept and price closed within the range. So our CRT low with this low. So, but we won't be able to say price will do this because price is bullish. So when the CRT form in the reversal of price, we don't take it as much more valid. I hope we understand. So, but to make this brief, this is last month, this is this month. Our next run liquidity will be where? This high, the high of last month, since we are bullish. And then look at another high here, this high here. And lastly, this higher high here, or the highest high. So we know that we are bullish. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. Now this is last week candle, this one. This is last week candle. Look at what happened. Now last 2 week candle, this is last 2 week candle. It swept all this low here and then created a CRT. This high here will be our next target, and that was why last week was bullish. So last week came down to this zone, tapped into a demand zone there, and bought. Now since last week has swept this liquidity here, the next strong liquidity will be this last week high. So price might buy from here, or possibility is that price will come down to this zone. Let's see daily time frame. This is the daily time frame. Look at it. Low was swept, price started buying and started taking out all this liquidity here, all this external liquidity. So this two candle here is Thursday and Friday candle. So I think price can use it as a liquidity. Price can use it as liquidity to buy actually. But let me see 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours. Look at our structure on 4 hours. Look at our structure. Break up structure, break up structure to the upside. Now this is like a retracement. Price failed to give us another break. These are all weeks. So price failed to give us another break, and then this was just a week high. But now price gave us a body break. Price gave us a body break. Look at it. Price gave us a body break. Now look at this swing. This swing swept this low, and now price has given us a break at the high. That makes this place a strong swing. This zone here. But now there is something else. This high here, price failed to break this high. Look at the range now. Look at the range. The range between this low. So we're expecting price to give us a break like this. Then price will now come back, sweep an inducement or any liquidity available there, and we can start buying. But price failed to do it. So that was why I marked this low as liquidity. This low here as liquidity. I hope you understand. So this line you see here is the closest key level. And if you want to mark another block or a demand zone, you can mark this one here. So there's possibility that this low will be swept and price will come down here to buy. If you look at the structure very well, you will understand. Let me remove this and this. So buying from here, like we can say, okay, this Monday low will be an inducement. So we can say we are expecting price to sweep it and buy. It is dangerous to buy from here if you would ask me of my opinion. So I would likely advise that we wait for this place to be taken out. And another thing, lastly, Euro USD is coming from somewhere. It's coming from a key level. There's a key level here. It's coming from a key level. I'm not supposed to go to 1 hour, but if you go down to 1 hour at least, you see that there is a block there. So let me go back to 4 hours. In my market outlook, I normally stop at a minimum of 4 hours. So something I'm going to also consider here is this. This is a break of structure. This is a break of structure. Or rather, this one was just a jump. So price can use this zone here to sell. So when you go and analyze it, you understand that price might likely use this zone to sell, to take out this liquidity below here, and then from Tuesday or Wednesday, price can start buying. I hope you understand. So this is what I'm expecting on Euro USD. Remember that the XY is bearish, so Euro USD we are looking for buys. So let's look at GBP USD now. We'll start from the monthly time frame again. So April was bullish, and this month, the month of May, I was expecting May to come down to fill part of this gap. Maybe I should use a new chart for you to understand. So I was expecting May to come down and fill part of this gap. then price can start buying again. So you see that May candle have come down and fill this gap, though at least up to 50% of it. The gap is between here to here, so it has filled it up to at least 50%. So there's possibility that price can now be bullish. That's for the monthly. So let's see weekly. Wow, weekly is having bunch of liquidity. All these are liquidity, all these ones are liquidity. So in the future there's high possibility that price will come back and come and take out this liquidity. But this bullish candle here was last week candle. Look at this high. This high was not taken out. Last week candle didn't take out any high or any low. So between this high and this low there is bunch of liquidity. Okay, so this is last week low and this is last week high. And next, if price is going to be buying, price will take out this high, and you see all this high that look like a trend line. All of them, price will come and take them out. This high is here, including the higher one. So let me remove this one. Okay, so let's see daily, a daily time frame. Let's look at our daily time frame. This is not my chart. Okay. So okay, I already marked it here. So let's see daily time frame. This is our daily structure. We had a break here to the upside. Price came down and now price has given us another break here to the upside. Give us a retracement and price is still bullish. So let's see 4 hours. Everything we're going to be looking for is still buys. Look at the structure, breakup structure, retracement. Now when price made this retracement here, price failed to give us another break to the upside. So there's liquidity below here and there's liquidity up here. So you see that there is possibility. Ouch. Now you see that there's possibility, since this low failed to create a new high, there's possibility that price will come down to this zone and then buy. So on GBP USD, I will be expecting price to come down to this zone to buy, or hopefully this zone too as well to buy. But if there's any changes during the week, I will still update you guys. Next, let's talk about AUD USD. So Euro USD, GBP USD are part of my main pair. AUD USD, I'll just make a brief on it. I don't know what's wrong with my network again. It's getting bad again. Okay, I just hope that everything I explained you guys do understand. Maybe I should switch network. Okay, so we are back again on AUD USD. I'll just go to the weekly time frame and see that AUD USD is bullish, and this high will be our target. This high here, it's a weekly high and we have a weekly key level above it, so this will be our target if we are going to be buying. This candle you see here is last week high, which will be our next round liquidity. If this week is going to be bullish, that will be the place where price will be targeted. So, and on the daily time frame, look at this low. This low took out, this candle took out this low, and then this high. If you look at this is CRT. This is a clean CRT. This candle took out this low. Now the high of that particular candle and the high of the candle where it took out the high will be our points or our drawn liquidity. Sorry, look at it. You see that the low was swept, and this is the low of the guy that swept it. So our target will be the high now, and externally this high. I hope we understand. So one important place now will be this low. This low here, price have possibility of using, this is Monday low, this candle here is Monday, so price have possibility of using Monday low as our liquidity and this place. But now I have a problem with this place failed to break structure. This particular angle, it failed to break structure. That's why I marked it as liquidity here. So price can likely still use this zone to buy. That is if there is a confirmation. When price comes to that place, you wait for a stop hunt, price should tap to it and give you a break to the upside, give you an inducement or an engineered liquidity, then you enter. Otherwise, don't enter. You wait for price to come down to this place. So on AUD USD, this is what I'm expecting. Now for USD JPY, this weekly, since the XY is bearish, USD JPY have high probability of also being bearish. You understand? So this is our daily. I'm expecting price to come to this block here. Look at this supply zone that was created, and if you look at it very well, it's an engulfing candle. So I'm expecting price to come to the engulfing bar to sell. So this high here failed to give us a break of structure to the downside. Look at it. This high gave us a sweep here, a body break, but failed to give us a complete break to the downside. So this high here might be liquidity. So if price come back to this zone, if this zone cannot give us a break here, there may be a retracement for us to enter and sell. If this zone fail like this, then price might likely come back to test that zone to buy, or use this zone as a liquidity for other zone above it. I don't know if you understand. Look at this breaker block here. So there's possibility, that's why I marked this like this. There's possibility that if this place cannot hold price, then price will break, come back, and either use that place to continue buying or test this breaker block to sell. So maybe I should add this here. Price can still test this breaker block to sell. Next we have gold. Let's see monthly time frame. So this candle here was last month's candle, and this is this month's candle. This month's candle have swept the low already, and we can't say that this month is going to be bullish for now, but let's analyze and see what the market is saying. So okay, this is last week. Last week swept the high of the previous week and then swept the low. Now tapped into a key level here and end up closing bullish. Now what do we think that this week will do, since the low and the high was swept? Now there's possibility that price will just come to test a zone here and buy, since this high here that was created failed to give us a break to the downside. But let's go to lower price and see, or lower time frame rather. This is a daily time frame. You can see that this zone here is pushing price downward. But I'm not seeing any good break here, and eventually price broke to the upside. And I'm seeing another thing, a CRT here. This is CRT. Look at the high was swept, so there's possibility that price will come down to this zone here. So, but we know that gold is bearish. We know that for sure. That gold is bearish. But looking at 4 hours, look at 4 hour structure. Looking at 4 hours, you see that This was a sweep, a retracement, a break to the upside, and now price has given us a break to the downside. It could still be that price is just giving us a retracement. Look at the retracement has already come to 0.5%. So there's high possibility that if there's any chance of selling, we can sell from this zone since we are already having a CRT here. Look at this CRT. But let's see weekly. This place is a good zone to sell. Look, from the weekly time frame, look at this bullish candle. You see that the next candle engulfed it. The next candle engulfed it. So this high here was used as liquidity. Price tapped into this zone, so there is high possibility for sale. And since price is bearish, price will just be taking out the internal range. Price will buy to take out the internal range and sell to take out the external range below until when price is fully bullish. So you see that this line here was the level I drew from the weekly time frame. Price has given us a CRT. Maybe we should wait for Monday to close. When Monday close, then we can easily get our direction. But for now, if I see a sell confirmation, I can sell from here. You see that we still have a break here. We still have a break here. So price might give us an inducement or an engineered liquidity, tap into a POI to sell. But another place to be mindful of is this zone here. This zone here. Since this was a sweep and a break, look at it. This was a sweep, and a break to the upside. Price sometimes dance to the current market trend or the current structure. So since this was a sweep and a break to the upside, price might come here, make a fake out like this. There will be a lot of stop loss here. So this will now be our inducement to come back and sweep it and then buy. So let's wait, but depending on what price did first, then we'll know where our direction would be. So yeah, I guess that is by the way. The next place to buy from is at this QM here. Look at liquidity, POI, we buy. And if you look down here, you also see that we have this last candle here as our demand zone. So if price comes to this place, I will sell it. But most importantly, we are expecting this place to buy. But if this place cannot buy, then we are expecting price to break it, come back to test it, and then we can sell with it. So this is what I'm expecting on gold. Now next, let's see GBP/JPY. Let's see GBP/JPY. GBP/JPY on the weekly time frame. See that GJ is somehow, should I say, bullish and bearish. But this candle swept all this high and came down to tap into this zone. And you see that last week candle showing more buy momentum than sell. Swept all this low here. And now it will be better if we see a break of structure, then we know that the pair is bullish. Otherwise, the pair is still bearish for me. Look at it. This is sweep, sweep. No any better break here, but I would prefer to see GBP/JPY give me a break like this, and we can start buying. But internally, I still do something here because this is okay. Sunday early morning, price swept open. Price can still come to this zone and buy down here, and then we look for higher price. So this is on GBP/JPY and on US 500. On US 500. Okay, this was last week. This week just opened. This high here beats next target, or probably to create a higher hand. Okay, this is Thursday. Thursday low was swept by Friday, and Friday still swept the high. So this is a break. We might be expecting price to come here and price will move to the next level on US 500. or price can still come down to this zone, which I'm not sure, but price can still come down to this zone and give us a buy on US 500. So I think the last one I should analyze is BTC. The last one I should analyze is BTC. BTC from weekly. Let's see BTC on the monthly time frame. Okay, this is last month. This is this month. Where do you think that BTC is going to now? Some people say that this zone here is strong enough to push BTC down, but look at 3 months is bullish. May, April, sorry, I said March, April, and May are all bullish. So I believe that this month will still remain bullish, and for next month, and next month can also be bullish. So price might be aiming to come up to this key level up here. Let me see weekly. There's still a gap down here. This is last week, so price can still come back to fill this gap. This gap here, price can still come back to fill that gap. So let me remove this. Let's see daily. You see that this swing here failed to take out this high, so there's possibility that truly that price will come here. Let me remove this. Oh my god, so price might be coming to fill this gap and hopefully tap into this zone here. At least we have a clean break here, and this extreme here. Oh, seems like I was already expecting buys from here, and the guy really bought. Okay, that was on Friday. I was expecting buys from here. I didn't even take the trade. I didn't even check it. This is a 4-hour structure. So we have a clean major break here. Our range will be between this low to this high. This will be our range. So we're expecting price to come to at least 0.5%. And next, this retracement that happened here, this is also a break here. This is also a break. So this retracement here, price can still buy from it. Price give me a clean retracement here. I'll buy, targeting this high, and then next will be this higher high here. So I'm still expecting price to buy from here. Yes, I'm expecting price to buy from here, and hopefully there's a low down here. These are places where price can buy from. But if price failed to buy from here and give us a break like this, then we'll be expecting this. So that will be all about this week market outlook. So if there's any changes in the markets, I'm going to be making more videos. And so I love you guys. You guys should take care of yourself. Bye.